Hey, so just quickly on exercise, I wanted to share a few tips on how to make it as part of your life rather than going from feeling like you should, feeling guilt around not exercising, to the other extreme of, like doing it a lot, and feeling like it's not sustainable. So creating sustainable habits each week to build on one another from a positive perspective rather than a body hate negative perspective. So first of all, we need to move, and many of us sit for most of our day. So whether that is sitting at our desk, commuting, socializing, even during our lunch break, we're still sitting at our desk or sitting somewhere. And it's important that we do keep moving. It allows, when we are stagnant, we are holding on to tension, we're holding on to grudges, negativity, and toxins in our body and stress. So when we start to move, we move that all around and shake things off, and move into a more positive mindset, really. And it helps us in a lot more ways than just by making our body look good. It actually helps us feel amazing. And I think for me, when I realized that exercise was so much more to it than just like weight loss or disliking my body and trying to change it in some way, I became more motivated naturally to move because of the way it made me feel rather than the negative aspect that so many of us have of undoing the weekend and like eating bad food or drinking and then making sure we do more work at the gym or something like that. And that's coming from like a punishing our body kind of way and approach rather than just doing it to feel freaking good. So I often get asked, like how much exercise is the optimum amount of exercise, and plus I think people kind of have a gauge of that, but then how does that fit into their own life, and what can they do on a day-to-day basis that is sustainable rather than this all or nothing mentality. And so first of all, it's helpful to figure out what you want exercise for. It's, like I said, not always just about losing weight or changing your body, but it can really help us to uplift our mood. Like it feels good. My yoga days are my happy days. When I started doing yoga a few years ago, it's like I've got to do this like in the morning, first thing before work, because it's like it makes me feel great, and we always feel good once we've done exercise. Like even if we don't feel like putting our shoes on and getting out the door, that's often the hardest part. And once we do, like we always like, oh man, I'm glad I did that. I should do that more often. So remembering that when it does feel like too hard basket, and exercise just helps our body to function better. Like it helps us to thrive, to do everyday activities like even cleaning the house and when the weather heats up, like walking around in the heat, like that kind of, our body can function doing regular day-to-day activities while we're young, particularly important as we age as well. Like we don't want to hurt ourselves, so avoiding injury as well. And flexibility will help with that as well. So not just running or just building strength and that kind of thing, but flexibility is really important physically and emotionally. So it helps us feel in flow, and it helps us, feel less rigid and have a tight white knuckle grip on things, like kind of just in flow, which is another reason I love yoga. But again, like it's not all about like particular types of exercise and one size fits all by any means. I certainly have my favorite things that I do the most of, and probably the reason I think they're great is because they are accessible to me and I can use them all the time. So the way it fits into my life. So I love yoga, I love running, nature walks is accessible to me at any point in the day. Like, just head out in your lunch break for a change of scene and go at your lunch in the park rather than at your desk is an awesome way to incorporate movement, and that's an incidental movement kind of way. And so it also just helps us to restore our energy. so rather than exercise depleting us, kind of giving us that boost of energy, which is why, during the day, getting out on your lunch break and doing a bit of exercise, as in not even like changing your clothes into gym clothes or whatever, but what if you just started by setting out, like going for a walk around the block for 10 minutes is an awesome thing to do. And yeah, just explore what options of exercise you like. I'm sure there's at least one thing at the top of your mind that that you could probably do more of, or that you would like to get into. And so for example, it might be, you used to love running and you kind of stopped because you don't want to injure yourself or something like that. Like, why not just start by getting up and going for more walks and maybe incorporating a little bit of jogging as you go. Running's not for everyone. I've recently started loving running, and I think the key there is, that I found was lowering your expectations and just getting your shoes on and getting out the door, and then kind of seeing how you feel and going at a really easy pace. But that's just on running. So there's like other types of exercise that you can do, and it's about finding what works for you and what you really genuinely love. And the main thing I wanted to share with you today is that a good place to start and a challenge for this week is setting yourself a realistic goal of what you can realistically do in a week, as in how many times you exercise and what, and fit that into your schedule now. So I'll show you what I do. This is what I do like each week, and it changes, but I drew this for you. It's like I've got yoga, running, and nature walk, and so I want to make sure, Instagram. I want to make sure I do go to yoga 3 times, partly to make my membership worthwhile, but also that's just a good, and these are tick boxes here. Running, so I want to go for 1 run, bonus points for 2 runs, and a nature walk, at least 2. And I live at the beach, and I often just go for a walk down at the beach, but I just wanted to show you that as like a tangible thing. You can tick it off if you're like a box ticket person, and you can also schedule into your calendar when you're going to do that. And I suggest doing it at the start of the week, and then making a few extra windows of opportunity in the later in the week, so that you can get your, say, 3, if you start with your 3 things that you want to do in that week, and then it's doable, and then you can celebrate your wins and push it again the next week. So that's your challenge for the week, and I'm going to put this is all written down on the blog on my website, so I'm going to share the blog for you to have a look at that in more detail. And also as your weeks go by, you can maybe improve on that, but try and just get your 3 ticks at least. I know I had 5, I had 2 bonus points, and that way you can start to actually make these sustainable habits, rather than all or nothing and kind of being like, I'm going to go to the gym every day this week and then next week gets busy. Kind of trying to build it into so it's more doable and sustainable. Okay, thanks all. I'll leave you.